That's the end of Govin's over. Oh, there we are. So score goes 45 for 1, end of the 7th over. End of Daniel Govin's first over, 8 runs. Tafadzwa Piti on 14 from 19 balls, and Shane Muchenji 8 from 7. So I would reckon a challenging score, seeing the strength of Peterhouse, will probably be 160, 165. Based on the scoring that we've seen today, it will be a really challenging target. But yeah, let's wait to see what we get to after 10 overs. What's your thinking?
I do feel that they would need a little more than that. But yeah, the side are so phenomenal through and through. They will always show up, and Lomagundi also didn't let themselves down. So
okay, so yeah, we've got Sean Bennett starting his first over. Tosses the ball up, but batsman straight back to Sean. Quite impressed with this young lad in the first game. Goes off the edge of the bat, but fielder in place. Back to Wiki, over his head. And so little things which you pick up on, where misfieldings or overthrows or not putting the ball in the Wiki's gloves. It's a sign of the game that I think the coaches really need. That's a hoik into the deep and taken beautifully at deep mid-wicket on the boundary. Great catch, and that's the second wicket down for Lomagundi. And now TC back on the scene.
Thanks, Graham. I hope you've having a good afternoon and enjoying the cricket. Great catch this time. We've seen a couple of catches put down throughout the course of today. But Simbarashe Mudimu on that occasion making no mistakes. And that is the fall of the second wicket for Lomagundi. Shane Muchenji departs for 8 runs off 10. He would have wanted to contribute more to the team's total, but Peterhouse gather in their huddle there. Undefeated, obviously, in this tournament, and defending champions. They'll be looking to make it back-to-back. But a couple other teams playing some good cricket. Hellenic also undefeated at the moment. Waisal have played some good cricket. Not too sure of their results today, but they beat St. John's yesterday. So, lots of cricket here.
New batsman in. Still trying to work out the batsman. Sean Bennett gets a wicket in his first over. Well defended off the back foot. New batsman in, Brandon Gwenzi, who was the hero of the first game for Lomagundi. Some power hitting from him. So 45 for 2 after 8 overs. And first over wicket. First wicket in the first over for Sean Bennett. 45 for 2. Going into now the 8th over. Tafadzwa Piti has been sort of quiet but solid. 14 runs from the first 19 balls. And I think one of the comments we made in the last game was the number of, racking up the number of dot balls. If you get 24 dot balls in a 20 over game, that's 4 overs. And that has huge aspect on the end score. 3-4 runs and over, that's extra 16. There's a difference between winning comfortably and being on the verge of losing. So let's hope these batsmen take advantage and just keep the scoreboard rolling. Take those singles. There's plenty spaces in the field. And that's where the skill of timing and placing the ball. Daniel Govin into his second over. Bowling to Tafadzwa Piti.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Graham. The dot ball count is something that needs to be managed in this format of the game, this T20 format. Bowling sides really benefit from racking up the dot balls. Chipped into the leg side for a single, Campbell McMillan. The wicketkeeper cleans up. Other league matches happening at the moment. CBC are playing against Waisal. CBC on 47 for 1 after 6 overs. And Prince Edward, who narrowly lost by 3 runs in their previous game against Falcon. Prince Edward 119 for 2 off 10 overs. So it must be raining boundaries there. Just knocked into the offside there for no run. So very good over this one so far from Daniel Govan. He's gone dot, dot, single, dot. So he'll be looking to close out these last 2 deliveries very well. Batsman could have left that one. That would have been surely given as a wide, but he's hit it into the ground, and that's a dot ball. So 1 ball remaining in this over. Daniel Govan with a very, very important over. Just 1 off it so far. Brandon Gwenzi, who had a fantastic innings in the previous game. And they do manage to get a single off the last ball, but that does not take away from what has been a fantastic over from Daniel Govan. Just conceding 2 runs off that over. That is the second over. So at the end of the 9th over, Lomagundi 47 for 2. This tournament obviously started yesterday. On the Thursday, each team played 1 game. And it carries on today. Beautiful settings here. Sean Bennett continues from the mini McDonald House end. And a heave to the leg side. There is protection out there. Limits it to just the 1. And they move along to 48 in the 10th over. Again, just chipping away. Lomagundi hit straight down the ground for a single. Brandon Gwenzi skies this one. And it goes all the way for 6. Fantastic hit. He picked up the length very early and he helped it along its way. Brandon Gwenzi picking up the form he carried through the previous game when Lomagundi defeated the home side. And that was a good hit. And the fielder at deep square leg had no chance. Fantastic shot. Takes his team's total up to 55. And great fielding there by Panache Fantiso to make sure that they don't score anything after that magnificent 6 that Brandon Gwenzi just hit. And he spots the shortness early again. This time it's 1 bounce and away for 4 into the boundary. So Brandon Gwenzi Graham, he's been really good at identifying that short-pitched ball, and he latches onto it quickly, and on this occasion gets the 4. That's 2 boundaries in this over. He's really good at identifying the length.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with young Brandon. Coming in at number 4 and making sure that he's keeping the scoreboard ticking. And, the solid base. Power hitting, and oh, that's a drop catch. That's a drop catch by Sean Bennett. The commentator's curse when he's just talking about something, so... But that's the life that Brandon Gwenzi's got to take and say, well, got away with that one. The ball was hit with power, and the batsman got like half a second, the bowler's got half a second to respond and catch, so it looks fine from here, but when you're on the field, it's a different story. So that's the end of the 10th over, 60 for 2. If you take that and extrapolate, that's 120 is the expected score. I would expect on this pitch with the batsman in and number of batsmen to go, I'll be looking at 160. Would be a target that I'd be comfortable to even stand a chance of the powerful Peterhouse batting.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Graham. They've got to try and get up to that 160, 170 mark. More even if they could. But Peterhouse do have firepower in their batting. Sean Bennett, Nicholas Anderson. That's beautifully played off the legs. Cleaning up is done. Limits it to just the one. So I was mentioning that Peterhouse batting lineup. Simba Mudimu also in there. Real firepower. But their middle order and lower order, Graham, hasn't been tested yet in this tournament. They haven't been called to bat. It's a good thing for their top order, but if you can manage to take a few early wickets in that power play, 2-3 wickets, expose that middle order, maybe chip away again, you could test this Peterhouse batting lineup, but they haven't looked easy to dismiss.
Yeah, for sure. And this is what I faced when I was at school. I was a bowler, batted number 6, number 7, number 8. And we had a very powerful top order, 6 top order. So I very seldom got to bat a reasonable length of time. But the comfort was knowing that the batsman put the score on the board. And I think that's what's got to be done here. Your top 6 have got to make sure that there's a competitive total. It should not be the pressure on the tail enders to be relied upon to put the runs to give them a chance. But I'm very impressed with young Ryan Moyo, his action. Nice whippy, speedy action. Generates a nice bit of pace and bounce. That's, as I talk, that's a high ball. That's going to be regarded as a no ball. So it's going to be a free hit. That was a bit of a wild looser. But what does it take for a youngster like this to be worked on, to get him that as he goes into adulthood, he carries on playing cricket? He's going to probably go to university, get snapped up by either South African university or overseas. How does Zim cricket keep that type of talent in the mix?
A single taken there to the leg side. I think with Ryan Moyo, his parents are eyeing the UK. They want him to go to the UK for university. I had the privilege of coaching him at Gateway Primary School. He was a brilliant all-rounder for us then when he was 11, 12 years old. Got a couple of 50s, a lot of wickets for the team. Went on to Peterhouse, and he's just continued to go from strength to strength. That one is well fielded. And a couple of balls ago, Brandon Gwenzi played a magnificent back foot drive for 4 between the backward point region. It was such a good shot. Came out the middle of the bat. And Ryan will be looking to close this over off well. And he does that. So it's a good over, decent over. 8 off it. Just that boundary to spoil those figures. So after 11 overs, Lomagundi 68 for 2.
That's one of the things with 20 over cricket is you're coming in as a bowler, and in your 4 overs, going for 8 and over is not considered bad. So how do you go from 20 overs cricket to playing 50 overs cricket, where you're bowling? How different is the variation of the bowling? Because you need to put a ball down at a length, but at the same time, you're also concentrating on making sure that you're putting balls in play that makes the batsman play a rash shot. Whereas your 50 over game is more line and length. Batsmen are not forced to push the score as fast. And then you get the 4-day game, where it's like 2.5 runs and over is considered fair. Yeah, it's considered snail pace. So it's interesting dynamics of the different formats. And that's terrible misfielding there by Peterhouse. It's a simple thing that just shouldn't happen. Lack of concentration. I don't know what comes in the game. Youngsters trying to concentrate on the skill sets of making sure you don't miss that ball like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess with the T20 format of the game, Graham, it's a batsman's game, isn't it? That's helped on its way. Should get a boundary there. Third man is too square. He can't cut that one off, so welcome runs for Lomagundi. Takes their total up to 74. Bit of a freebie, you must say, there from Sean Bennett. So going back to my point, bowling in T20, you see the replay there. Wrong line, and he just helped himself. You've got to have lots of variations in your bowling. You can't become too predictable because batsmen these days are playing ridiculous shots. I mean, there's an appeal there. The umpire says not out. So must have been so close there. Finger doesn't go up. Or does it? He is out. He's been given. So underage there. Good take by Campbell McMillan. And Lomagundi lose their third wicket. 74 for 3. Let's have a look again at that wicket. It was short and wide. He was going for the cut shot. Very good catch there. Almost like it hit the toe end of the bat there. The batsman was a little bit confused, trying to act a little guilty. Maybe he knew he had something on that one, but a great piece of wicket keeping to pick up the third wicket.
Yeah, and I think it's young Ishinopa coming back in again, if I'm not mistaken. Just double checking his number. We got Tafadzwa Piti, who has been sort of nondescript, 19 from 27. Hasn't faced much of the bowling of the last 3-4 overs. But he's the solid base to try and anchor this innings. And he's got a bat through now after 11.5 overs, 74 for 3. He's got to make sure that he's there to the very end. Sean Bennett picks up his... Zivai Mukoniki out first ball, golden duck. And that's Sean Bennett. I mean, he's in his third over, and that's his third wicket. That's his third wicket. A long way to walk out, and it's one of the hardest things. You walk out, you want to do proud by your team. Your first ball, you're out. It's a long walk. Yeah, and they used to show on TV a picture of a duck, a golden duck. I mean, it's just one of those feelings. Batsmen try their best, but you got batsmen that go out first ball. It's part of the game. But well done to Sean Bennett. It's been a great couple of overs, and he's put Peterhouse back in the game. You know, they're now dictating. I think they will squeeze us out and try and limit Lomagundi's score.
Yeah, very, very unlucky way to go out there. But he has to walk. It was a front foot defense, but the ball just kind of bounced and continued going, knocking off the bail in an agonizing way. All he could do was look to the heavens, maybe saying, why me? But 74 for 4. I think you're right, Graham. Peterhouse are well in front. Lomagundi desperately in need of a partnership here. Ryan Moyo continues. Down the leg side again, so not an ideal start to his over. So the next ball that Sean Bennett bowls will be a hat-trick ball. He's taken 2 wickets in a row. Sean Bennett will be on a hat-trick ball when he returns to bowl. They want the single, they're taking it. There's a fumble by Mandi Mutsira, which allows them to get through. Had he picked that up clean, Graham, I think the batsman was in trouble there because it was very, very close.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, from the first game, last game, Lomagundi's running between the stumps was exceptional. So, yeah, they obviously had full confidence that they were going to make it. Nice pace. Beautiful pace going. And new batsman, Panashi Mukanike, obviously got to get his iron. Interesting to see where Ishinopa is going to come in. You know, he came in at number 5, and they're already number 6. Maybe he's going to come in and maybe anchor the bottom end of the innings. That's greatly played, straight to the fielder, but should be well in. His overthrows here, the batsmen have picked up and they're going to take the second run. That's the part of the game, is the field got any chance of running the guy out? Now he's putting his co-players in jeopardy because now there's that extra run. No one was backing up. It's just that little part of the game that coaches need to concentrate on. But good running by Lomagundi, and Panache is off the mark. Just doing up his shoelaces. It's amazing how these shoelaces come loose, eh? So, part of the game. Number 5, powerful young lad by the looks of things. I should imagine when he hits the ball, it stays hit. 78 for 4 in the 13th over. Slightly over-pitched, but straight to the fielder. No chance of a run. Once again, stand out to the core sponsors, cabs, and various number of co-sponsors around the ground. Just want to thank them for making this available and making this event available. Without their sponsorship, it wouldn't happen. And Cabs is a powerhouse name in the community, and thanks for them for putting their branding and putting their name behind this tournament. At the end of the 12th over, one more ball to go, and then we've had our 13 overs. 78 for 4, the current score. Well, that's right on the middle stump in the block hole. But goes through the wicket keeper. And that's at the end of the 13th over, 78 for 4. The power is now in Peterhouse's page. I think Lomagundi now 7 overs left. Minimum you can expect is 8 and over. 56 puts it on 134. Do you think that's enough for the powerhouse Peterhouse?
I don't think it'll be enough, Graham. They need to try and take it as deep as they can. Obviously, try not lose any more wickets because having lost 4 already, they're in a precarious position. So a partnership is important, but Peterhouse firmly on top at this stage in the game. But it can change. We've seen games change. And that's played back to the bowler. Dylan Bennett does not get his hat-trick. He was on a hat-trick ball. That's been hit to the square leg boundary for a single. We have seen a hat-trick today, though. Not in one of our streamed games, but Hellenic did pick up a hat-trick. Ronak Patel, who is a phenomenal cricketer himself. That's fended back to the bowler. So score is 79 for 4. A lot more flight trying to deceive the batsman into playing a big shot. Almost works out for them, but hits the toe end of the bat for a dot ball. And easy as you like, caught and bowled. Failed to pick the length of the ball and hits an easy catch back to Sean Bennett, and he picks up his wicket. He would have wished it was 4 balls a goes to get his hat-trick, but nonetheless, they'll take that. Lomagundi slump to 79 for 5.
I think it's a bit of deja vu. I think they were in a similar position in the last game. But congratulations to Sean Bennett, 4 for 20 so far with 1 ball left in his spell. But great spell of bowling, Sean. Nice length and tossing the ball up and making the batsman play the ball. Just waiting for the scoreboard to update. Looks like it's 79 for 5. Sean Bennett's last ball of his spell. Oh, that's a good ball. Beats the batsman hands down. So that's the end of Sean Bennett. 4 for 20 or 4 overs. Teammates congratulating him. And the new batsman is Mel Marau. Struggling to think where Ishia Topo is. Is that Ishia Noto? What's it? The youngster who, number 13 from last game. Who? Matungu. I'm struggling to understand why he hasn't come into bat yet. I mean, 46 not out. The anchor of the last innings, and he hasn't seemed to come as number 7 batsman in. So it's obviously Tafazza Piti is the last sort of recognized batsman. Big amount on his shoulders at the moment. Ball played out into the... Coming back for 2. There's going to have to be a tight finish there. Good fielding. But that's 2 runs, push the score to 81 for 5. Tafazza Piti goes up to 22, from 31 balls. Bounce on that ball. He plays it beautifully off the bat down to deep third man. Fielder comes in and back to the wicket. So scores on 81 for 5.
Just hearing Graham that on the PE game, one of their batsmen has just been dismissed for 136 or 44 balls. That is some serious hitting, and he's actually still in. He hasn't been dismissed. Bowls him, gets his defense wrong there, plays the wrong line, and Ryan Moyo has picked up a wicket on his 3rd ball. Mel Marau has to go, and he hasn't troubled the scorers. He goes for naught, and Lomagundi continued to slump. He just played down the wrong line of the ball, you can see now, and just clatters into that off stump. And that's yet another wicket. Peterhouse really on top at the moment.
Yeah, Lomagundi is going to have to think a strategy here. We got a couple of balls left in the 14th over, then we got 5 overs left. You know, a comfortable score at this stage with a bit of batting income would be 120, 130. But Tafazza Piti needs to take control. He needs to harvest the strike. And he needs to make sure that he ticks the scoreboard along and hopefully gets support like in the last game where somebody comes in and helps him out. But yeah, a bit of a change in tempo in the game. Peterhouse have turned it around the last 4 overs. 3 wickets falling in the last 3 overs. So the pressure's on, and a great ball from Ryan Moyer watching the replay. Fast, nice pace, tossed up and on middle stump. Batsman played all over it and was bowled.
It's flicked off the legs for another single. So, getting off the mark immediately. Another one drifting into the pads. They're going to push for 2 here. They are coming back. It's a tight one. It's a direct hit. And the umpire says not out. Too close for him to tell from that position. But quite often, Graham, direct hits are referred upstairs and they're quite often out. Obviously too close for him to call by the naked eye, but that was a brilliant piece of fielding, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bit of talent there. You're coming in with the ball sideways, you pick it up, you hurl it across, and you're literally facing one stump. So to hit it head on and not get the run out, but congratulations, that's a great piece of fielding. Ryan Moyer coming into bowl, right up, right through the batsman, generating a fair amount of pace. And that's the end of Ryan Moyer's spell. 4 overs, 1 for 25. And Lomagundi now 84 for 6 after 15 overs. What's your prediction as a betting man? What do you reckon the target score is, the projected score? I would say, with the batsman coming in, I'd say 115, 120 is good.
Yeah, I think the same, Graham. I think they'll get to about 124 if they can crack on in these next 5 overs. They need to, but you would feel that they don't have enough given the firepower of Peterhouse that we have been speaking about. So Lomagundi will rue the chances. Maybe the fact that they played back-to-back games, just struggling to keep the momentum up. But magnificent figures for Ryan Moyo. Bowled his 4 overs, and he took 1 for 25. Simbarashi Mudimu back in the attack from the mini McDonald House end, and he'll be bowling to Tafadzwa Piti. Just adjusting the field, making sure he gets it spot on for the plans he has. That one beats the outside edge. Nice flight, good bounce. Too much for Tafadzwa Piti to do. Again, he flights that one, so he's trying to deceive them into playing a good shot. But the length is not there to play that kind of shot. You can see there in picture, Mazai just trying to replay that shot. That one is dragged a little bit short, and it's an opportunity for Mazai to take a single and get off strike.
I'm just picking up how little time Simbarashi takes. Watch him. He walks in to the corner, he turns, and he's ready to bowl. There's no hesitation. He's caught the wicketkeeper out a few times and not quite being ready. This is the type of bowler you need when you're up against the run rate and the over rate. That's a beautiful shot played there. The fielder's running to get the ball. Fielder's number 4 throws the ball in, and the batsman of crossing should get the 3. And well run, Lomagundi. That's great. Runs to the Fadza. We're going to get another overrun here. Just the concentration. It's a sign of what I've seen today, that what's lacking is the experience of just making sure that the ball is dead. The overruns and the overthrows and the extras just puts pressure on the team, the bowling team, and just puts the target a little bit further out. Another good ball there by Simbarashi. 1 for 12 off in his 3rd over. One more ball left. Here comes Simbarashi bowls. And that's a hoik there, and that's deep, deep, deep. The fielder coming in, but not going to get there. And they're running for the 2nd. 2 comfortable runs there, and well run by Tafadzwa Piti. So that should be the end of the 16th over. And the score is 91 for 6. 4 overs left. Just looking at the Lomagundi team tent there. A little bit of pressure. This powerhouse, Peterhouse batting lineup, what I first saw the first game with the top 5 or 6, very solid. So Lomagundi are going to be thinking, how do we control the batting? The bowlers are going to have to be dead on line.
Yep, they are indeed, Graham. The Lomagundi dugout not looking too happy there, rightfully so. They've slumped to 91 for 6 in 16 overs, so it's been tough going for them. They need to really make use of these 4 overs, the remaining 4 overs, and it's Panashe Fantiso. They think about taking the quick single, and it's well declined. But it's a decent start from Fantiso. He's got figures of 2 overs and none for 14. So he'll be searching for his first wicket of the game. But one would feel that Lomagundi don't have enough here. Campbell McMillan's not going to make it up in time. Fantiso trying to effect the run out. They do take a quick single. Mazai would have wanted to get a lot more behind that to try and send it to the square leg boundary. It was there for the taking in the end. Just rushed him a little bit. That's short and wide. But he misses out there, does the batsman. Dot balls are really, really not the answer here for Lomagundi. They need to try and get as many as they can, because with every dot ball that goes by, it's more and more pressure for Lomagundi to try and get a decent total here. He's nudged it into the leg side, and they're pushing for 2 here. It's a great throw, but the bowler couldn't gather that to affect the run out. So good pressure on the fielding for Peterhouse, but they do get the 2 runs. They managed to cross. And the umpire just asking the players to stay off the wicket, running straight down the center. So Lomagundi have been warned. Nashe Fantiso, 2 balls to go. The wide has been given by the umpire. Takes the score to 95. Nashe Fantiso bowling wide there. 2 to come in the over. They do have to try and go big now, Graham. It's a bit late. That is why they're putting pressure on the fielding. They do come home for 2, but you can tell by the way that they're playing now. Rushing the 2s, the big shots. It's also quite a recipe to pick up another wicket for Peterhouse, but Lomagundi really feeling the pressure here.
Yeah, sure. There's nothing worse than pressure. You know, especially you're running, you're taking those chances, you're putting pressure on the fielders. But I saw there Peterhouse, rather than risk the overthrows, just made sure that the ball was dead. It's a massive shot hit, fielder underneath it, and beautifully taken. Now that's what I call catching. Good technique, under the ball, hands and chested in. You can't go wrong, 99 times out of 100. And that's an example that all the schoolboys here should be looking at. I welcome my lovely wife, Pearl, to the assist in the commentary team here, just give support. And it's just such a beautiful day to be. I keep saying it. We couldn't ask for more glorious weather. You know, this time of year to see cricket played, it's just fantastic. So 3 overs left. Lomagundi 97 for 7. Panashi Mazai, and just trying to get confirmation. Fantiso, sorry. 3 overs, 1 for 20. Quite expensive last over. Again, wides come into play. And that's been my standout today, is just seeing the number of extras, overthrows, wides, no balls. And it's just been a part of the game that I think if we could work out how to eradicate that, it would go a long way. So it's got Daniel Govan in his 3rd over. No wicket for 10 runs. And he's bowling to Panashi Mazai. That's well hit, but well fielded. That was stinging. Fielder's wringing his hands. That must have been painful, but well fielded. I like the action of Daniel Govan. Nice and easy, good line and length. And that's hit high in the air. Fielder coming underneath it. Nowhere near it, unfortunately, looking over his shoulder. Batsmen have run through for 2, looking for the 3rd. Well run. And that now takes the score to 99. Good running again by Lomagundi. Set out with a positive positive vibe and making sure that your partners, your batting partners, on the same wavelength as you. Daniel Govan coming in again, straight to the fielder. 99 for 7, with a couple of balls left in this, the 18th over. Panache Mazai was the guy that my previous commentator host said that he thinks he's a power hitter. Let's see what he can do with the last ball. And that's that's a bit of a mishit, but easy run through, and he keeps the strike. And that for me is the 100 up. 100 up for Lomagundi.
Yep, the 100 comes up in the 18th over. So it's been tough going for Lomagundi. 100 up in the 18th over. That tells a story on its own. It's been tough going, and they've lost 7 wickets as well. So they'll be looking to get to a total that they can with the few deliveries that are left. It's guided to backward point for just a single. So that'll end the 18th over. Lomagundi 101 for 7 with 2 overs to go in this innings. So 2 overs to go in this innings. 101 for 7 is the scoreline. It's been tough going. Simbarashe Mudimu to bowl the penultimate over. Lots of flight on that delivery. And again, just guided down to backward point. Not batting with any form of eagerness yet to want to get the boundaries. And there's a heave there. And just receiving news again of that Prince Edward player. He is now on 176 off 74 balls, so he is absolutely bossing it. And maybe even eyeing a 200 here. There's another appeal for a run-out. Umpire is not moved. So in the end, they do sneak the single. So phenomenal batting from that PE player. 176 runs off 74 deliveries. That is ridiculously good. I mean, it's like he's just having a swing at everything, Graham. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's exceptional batting. It does make you wonder the quality of the bowling, because in 20 overs cricket, for somebody to make 176, he's either a prodigy or the bowling maybe wasn't up to the standard that we're seeing currently here. But well done to the batsman. Fantastic. And I mean, you can't see Prince Edward losing that game from there. So Simbarashi pitches the ball up, well batted, straight to the fielder, so no run. And after this, there'll be 1 over left. And what impressed me is Simbarashi, straight back to the bowling point, ready to come in again. Flights the ball up. And that's the end of the 19th over. Score 103 for 7. So if I was the batting side, 1 over left, you got to go for it. You can't stand on the morals. You just got to try and get what you can. I would be aiming at maybe 115. But 2 new batsmen in the crease not really got their iron. It's going to be quite a difficult task.
Yep, and going back to that Prince Edward boy, Graham, he's hit 17 fours, 14 sixes, and he's batting at a strike rate of 220. So 267 is his strike rate. So he is absolutely loving it. Out there, would love to. He's still in. He's still batting. No. So Daniel Govan to bowl the final over. That's straight up into the sky, and Ryan Moyo drops that catch. Not happy is Daniel Govan. It'll only add the single to the total. And 104 for 7, you'll still fancy Peterhouse are the happier team at the moment. Brilliant bowling display from them. All of them, their figures are make for happy reading. They've bowled well. And Daniel Govan, wicket-to-wicket bowler. And those dot balls. So Prince Edward have scored 234, so they've crossed that 200 mark for the first time in this tournament. And that batsman scored 185 of those runs. Absolutely phenomenal. That is just a phenomenal batting. I'll get a name for you, but he scored 18 fours and 14 sixes. Phenomenal batter. His name is Ryan Kanyemba. Great innings from Ryan Kanyemba there. I'm sure Lomagundi would have wanted that kind of strike rate of 272 in this game, Graham.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a rarity. I mean, that's a unique score. You know, you're not going to get that every day. The right batsman and the right level of bowling, and obviously a skill level. I mean, you 14 sixes. You got to know your game. But in the last couple of balls now from Daniel Govan comes in, and that's easily glanced down beautifully. That's going to be 4 runs, which are much needed by Lomagundi. Pushes the score up to 109 for 7. And that's Panashi Mazai. No, that's, sorry, correction, that's Ishinopa Motungi, who came in a bit later than expected. Batted beautifully in the first game, last game when Lomagundi beat St. George's. And that's a turn around the corner, just going to be the single. And I think that is it. That's the end of the innings. So it's 110 for 7, Lomagundi, in their 20 overs. Not quite the score we predicted after the last game. But I think Peterhouse should, with their batting lineup, should have no problem reaching this target.
Yeah, I agree with you, Graham. They should get there at a canter. Peterhouse, they've bowled well. It's been a good bowling and fielding display. Lomagundi just couldn't get off to a flyer at the beginning. Peterhouse bowled well, but we'll be taking a short break, and we'll be coming back with the second innings in just a bit.
All right, so here we are. We starting of the Peterhouse innings. We got Lomagundi. So that's a wide on the first ball. Just waiting for the update of the batsman's details. So Peterhouse has got 112 to chase to win the game. And Lomagundi's bowling is going to have to be right up to standard. There's no space for the number of extras and wides that from the last game in both teams. So we got Simbarashi Mudimo and Nicholas Anderson. Very impressed by Nicholas Anderson the last game. And that's down the leg, and that's going to be 4 runs. That's great to see whether he got any bat to that. So that's 4 byes. That's 4 byes. So that's the scoreboard off the mark. So that's 6 runs for no wicket after on the first over. Brandon Gwenzi is the bowler. The pressure is going to be on him now. It was important that he got off to a good start, bowling the ball up, not giving the batsman the space to. And it's going to be a close, good fielding attempt there, but the batsmen are safely through. And that's 7 runs for no wicket. It's going to be up to the captain now to manage Lomagundi. He's going to have to keep the bowlers, talking to the bowlers, making sure they bowl a line and length and not give away needless runs. Fielders are going to have to be awake and make sure they don't shy at the stumps when there's no backup. So it's going to be interesting to see the dynamics, how the Lomagundi team handle. That's another wide ball, punched away. That's going to be 4 runs. And Nicholas Anderson, it's food and butter for him every day of the week. Short pitched, wide. That's going to be 4 runs every time.
It is indeed. He's just been phenomenal at kicking off the innings for them. For Peterhouse, he goes out with one thing on mind, and that is to score runs and get as many boundaries as he can. And quite a lot of the time, the bowlers have been aiding him in doing so. Short and wide, and he puts that away in absolute fine style. And again, that free-flowing bat. And it's a misfield, and it goes all the way for 4 runs. And this is where Peterhouse are very, very dangerous. If you don't restrict the runs like that, the fielders have to back up the bowlers. It was a good shot, straight down the ground by Nicholas Anderson, and the fielding wasn't good enough. Have a look at that free-flowing bat. It was going at a pace, but the conventional long barrier can stop that from going for 4. So a bit of ill discipline there from Lomagundi in the field, and they race to 11 off 3 balls. This time a bit uppish. There's a deep extra cover that is in place. So that'll be just the single. But again, the intention is to score, Graham. And that's what Nicholas Anderson has done throughout this tournament.
Yeah, and you can see Brandon Gwenzi dropping his head. He's realized he's put his team under pressure. But again, don't take away from the stand of the batting. You know, Nicholas Anderson's in finest form. And any ball loose is punished. Last ball of the over. And that's a wide ball. You see the pressure, that's going to be 4 wides. That's going to be 4 wide. That's just indiscipline. That's 5. So that puts the score should be on 21. And that's a disaster start for Lomagundi. I don't know how you recover from that. And there's still a ball left. Just over 4-1, 4-4-1. And that's a single off the last ball of the over. So very expensive start, 22 runs off it. And yeah, that's going to be a difficult situation for Lomagundi to recover. Let's hope the opening bowler on the other end manages to bring back some respect.
It will be difficult for them to recover. I mean, 21 runs off the first over. Make that 22 actually. 22 off the first one. That's a very rapid start, and 9 from Anderson. So 15 off the bat and 7 extras. So Lomagundi not helping themselves in that extras column. I mean, conceding 22 off the first over, defending 111. You're asking for trouble. So a couple of fielding changes. Simba Mudimo has been very strong backward of square. He's very strong off his pads as well. Just nudges that backward of square for a single. So they continue to just get the scoreboard ticking. Zitarashe Munyonga comes into the attack from the mini McDonald House end. Nicholas Anderson tries to heave this one over square leg, but Simbarashe Mudimu shows his awareness yet again. So he does scamper through for the single. So good calling, good running, and Nicholas Anderson responds as well and does take the single, backs his partner up, has faith in his partner that the call is good enough, and they are through for a single. So 2 from 2 in this over. Short and wide, misses out there, Simbarashe Mudimu. He's strong in that area, but he'll be disappointed with that one.
Yeah, it's good to see. Good to see the crowd filling up a little bit later part of the afternoon. And once again, I encourage you to come and watch the cricket tomorrow. It's going to be some great games, and then culminating in the finals on Sunday. Let's hope the weather holds and have another glorious day like we got today. Simbarashi Madimo on strike, 7 from 6 balls. And Nicholas Anderson, 10 from 4, maintaining his strike rate from the last game. Zitarashi Manyonga coming in. Easy run up. Ball is played back over the bowler's head. It's going to be definitely one. Taking it easy. Are they looking for the second? Hesitation. But they're way on line with the target rate, so no need doing anything stupid. The start that they've had, 25 after 2 overs, already way ahead of the required run rate. Once again, commendation to St. George's for the quality of the fields, the organization for the host school putting this together, and of course once again the main sponsor Cabs and all the subsidiary sponsors good to see that people are seeing the benefit of advertising at these type of games. And for the schools to come prepared, and especially school from South Africa and Windhoek. I mean, it's excellent to see them supporting this once again.
Absolutely fantastic to see. It's been a great tournament so far, and will continue tomorrow and on Sunday. I have no doubt that if you come out here and enjoy the cricket, you will certainly not regret it. The change of bowling on at the pavilion end. Shane Muchenje comes in. Left arm. No, he's a right arm bowler, so he's bowling right arm. Round. And it's a wild swing from Simbarashe Mudimu. Misses everything. And they do come through for one bye. So losing his head a little bit there. So in other games currently being played, CBC posted 125 all out in their innings. Wise Owl are now 20 for 1 after 2. So scoring at 10 to the over, they need 106. And Prince Edward with that mammoth total of 234. Unbelievable for 4. And Richards Bay Academy are currently on 10 for 2 after 2 overs. So lots of cricket action happening here. A good ball bowled there from Shane Muchenje. And that's where Nicholas Anderson likes it. It's up in the sky. One bounce. The spin almost sends the ball to the boundary, but he does well to regather and stop 2 runs. Otherwise, that surely would have headed to the boundary. Didn't get all of it, though, Nicholas Anderson. Nice looking shot, though, but certainly didn't get all of it. Goes again, this time much more convincing. That has been sent over the FedEx tent, and that is a maximum, a great shot from Nicholas Anderson. He gets it right this time. Fantastic shot.
Yeah, definitely a skill. I've seen, the more I see of Nicholas Anderson, the more I like his batting. I think he could be the batsman of the tournament outside of that Prince Edward chap. But the consistency is coming in every game and putting runs on the board. Lovely technique, easy flow. I mean, that was an easy hit. And it's good to see it. Putting now 34 for no wicket. 2 balls to go in this over. And I think at this stage, Peterhouse are well on track. Umpires checking the new ball. Obviously a lost ball. So Shane Muchenje coming into bowl again. And that's flashed away again. That's going to be another 6 from Nicholas Anderson. He's not wasting time. He's all set. That's 24 runs from 8 balls.
Do you reckon he's rushing for a date, Graham?
I definitely think so. His mom's dad told him to be home by 5. Shane Muchenje coming. What does he do? That's a wide. Bowler's under pressure. As soon as you're there, your bowler's thinking, where do I put this ball? Where do I put the ball? That's the next ball coming. That's going to be another 4 runs. Bowler's got his head down. Can't wait for the end of this over. Score 41 for no wicket. Just waiting for the update. That's the end of the 3rd over. I mean, this is slaughter. Peterhouse are full in control. Nicholas Anderson on 28 from 9. And Simbarashe Mudimu on 8 from 9. So target 55, 67, 68 runs, 67 runs to win from 17 overs. I don't see much other result than a convincing win for Peterhouse.
I don't see one either. I think the mood that Nicholas Anderson is in. Seems like he's after hitting the ball into each and every one of the sponsorship stands that are here. He's hit into Pam Golding, he's hit into FedEx, he's hit to NutriActive. I think he'll be eyeing, again, Simbarashe Mudimu just knocking it down the ground. And I think Lomagundi will be dreading the fact that Nicholas Anderson is now on strike again. He's on 28 off 9 deliveries. He is going at a rate of knots. He wants to get this done and dusted quickly. So Zitarashe Munyonga to Nicholas Anderson. And the intention yet again from Anderson is to try and go for the big shot. Hits the bottom end of the bat, and that is just one. So 2 off 1 so far from this over.
What's important is the fielders keep their heads up. There's no disgrace in losing a game. Long way from over yet, but it's important they keep up the energy, and who knows what might come. But with bowling like that and the batsman in fine form, it's a very difficult task. And that should be the 50 up. Great shot for Sibarashi Madimo. That should take him to 13 runs. And that's the 50 up. 50 partnership for Nicholas Anderson, 29 from 10, and Simbarashi Madimo, 13 from 11. Exactly repeat of the same shot. Another 4 runs, skewed off and right down to the boundary. So that's 17 runs, and the score now goes to 55. 55 for no wicket. Simbarashi Madima deciding if Nicholas Anderson can do it, he can do it also. And just hope that Lomagundi can keep their heads up and keep positive. The captain now needs to talk to the team and try and just get them to just be positive. The game's still on. Another big attempted hoik, misses the ball. A rare dot ball in this innings. Zutarashi Manyonga has got to just keep doing what he's doing. It's not too bad. 2 overs for 13 runs so far. Last ball of his second over. What does Simbarashi do with this ball? Has another swing, and that's a rusty gate. That old synology about swinging like a rusty gate. But that's a great 4 overs, 55 runs on the board.
Yep, Peterhouse are flying. They want to get this done and dusted quickly. 55 off the first 4 overs. Haven't lost a wicket. So the pressure is certainly on Lomagundi, who had to play back-to-back matches. They had just beaten St. George's and then were put into bat by Peterhouse. And they only managed that total of 111. But Nicholas Anderson is on strike. And he'll be facing a spin bowler. He'll be licking his lips right now. And the very first is a slog sweep to the square leg boundary. Valiant effort to chase that down, but it does make its way for 4 runs. So a tough start to the over. And he moves on to 33. Too much on the ball. No chance for the fielder there. So Tafadzwa Piti, he's under pressure. He had a good first over. This time he goes straight downtown. It bounces short of long on. So safe for Nicholas Anderson. They'll be happy to see him off strike. But Simbarashe Mudimu has recently also started to free his arms a little bit. So he's also posing some form of danger. He's on strike now. Tafadzwa Piti now bowling to the left-hander. So a few changes in the field. There's that deep mid-wicket in the cow corner. And that's where he decides to hit this one. Are they pushing for 2? No, Simba Mudimu wasn't happy. Pushing for 2, even though Nicholas Anderson was running the first one hard. Running in between wickets. It's such an important part of this version of the game. Any format, rather, but more so in 2020. That's in his slot. He's hit that to the square leg boundary again. Couple of bounces and away for 4. So he's really targeting that square leg boundary, and he's been doing so effectively. The 3 balls he's faced from Tafadzwa Piti, he sent them for 2 boundaries in the same area. I think it's time to put a deep square leg there. Lomagundi. This will be the final game of the day. In his zone again. This time he hits it along the ground. And they seem to be coming back for the second. No, they turn it down. So good comeback from the fielder there. Moving on to the final ball of this delivery. 66 for no loss. Rocks onto his back foot and punches this down the ground. So they don't always only have that power hitting. They've also got the singles. This over 4-1-1, 4-1 and 1. So 12 runs off the over. That's a massive over. So at the end of the 5th over, Peterhouse 67 for no loss.
Yeah, thanks. So 15 overs to go. There's no real point doing the required run rate. It's about 67 for no wickets after 5 overs. I'm no mathematician, but that's 13 runs and over, current run rate. And Nicholas Anderson and Simbarashi in fine form. So Simbarashi retaking his stance.
Unfortunately, chips that one straight into the cover region.
Yeah, that was a wicket there. Nicholas Anderson, unfortunately. Sorry, that's Simbarashi Mudimu. But what a great innings and support for Nicholas Anderson. Easily taken by the fielder. So that gives a bit of a moral uplift for Lomagundi. Let's hope they can work on that. And let's maybe give the bowlers something now to concentrate on to try and make a respectable, limit Peterhouse to a respectable total. It's been a bit of a slaughter up until now. But new batsman coming in now has just been as consistent as in the previous game. Sean Bennett, very impressed with his bowling. And Zitarashi Munyonga, 1 for 13 from 2.1 overs. Comes into bowl, and that's a great ball. And that's a appeal. He's given out first ball. So that's Sean Bennett out first ball. And now this is a type of energy that Lomagundi need. Who knows what this game can still bring. Unfortunately, we couldn't see the replay in the full context, but the umpires are of a high standard. We've had a hat-trick already, a player from Hellenic. What are the chances of having another one? Zitarashi Manyonga making a name for himself. Batsman coming in now, Campbell Macmillan. And what I saw last time, very solid looking batsman. What can Zitarashi, what's going through his mind now? Line and length, just do the same as the previous two balls. Takes his guard, Cam Macmillan facing. Zitarashi comes in, bowls the ball, and well defended. So avoids the hat-trick ball, and the score is 67 for 2. Shadow starting to come over the ground. Zitarashi comes in, bowls the ball, and it's beautifully hit through the covers, fielded just short of the boundary and thrown in. Beautiful throw into the bowler. Campbell Macmillan off the mark. And Nicholas Anderson on strike. 39 not out from 14 balls. By any standard, that's a magnificent strike rate. 2 balls left in the over. And that's hoisted over the fielder running to it. It's going to go over his head. He feels it well and throws in, but the field bowler, batsman go through for 2 runs. Excuse me, excitement. There's a bit of action from the Nicholas Anderson goes to 41, and the score goes to 60, should be 70 for 2. Used to waiting for the score to update. Zitarashi coming into bowl, should be the last ball of the over. That's slashed away again, almost the same place. Fielded well by the fielder and throws in. So that's another single. Nicholas Anderson should skip the strike, and the score should now be 71 for 2 after 6 overs. That's the end of the over for Zitarashi. 2 for 14, respectable score as a bowler. In view of the slaughter of the first few overs, that should give him confidence to finish his bowling spell.
Yeah, but Peterhouse sitting very comfortable at the moment, even though they've lost one of their best batsmen. First ball, Sean Bennett. He was adjudged to be hit in front of the wickets. He was out LBW on his first ball. He wasn't happy with the decision, but not much he can do to overturn it. He had to walk, and that brought in Campbell Macmillan. And Campbell Macmillan goes downtown straight away towards the mid-wicket boundary, but it falls short, so they'll just take the single to give Nicholas Anderson the strike. Nicholas Anderson is actually on 41 runs. Punches this one down the ground. Nicholas Anderson back on strike. He's also very good through the offside as Nicholas Anderson. This time, extra cover is there. Keeps it to just 1. Again, towards the same area. There is protection there, so it will just be the 1. Slowly but surely in this over, just picking up the 4 singles, adding to the total. Well left alone, Dylan. Nicholas Anderson just decides to let that go. It is an extra, adds to the total, and continues to edge closer and closer to their score. That's in the air, an opportunity here for Lomagundi, and it's very well taken. So it is the danger man who has to walk. Nicholas Anderson has played another gem of an innings, getting 44 of 18 deliveries. It was a fantastic catch in the deep. Steadied himself under the ball and took a brilliant catch on one knee. And look at the relief. He's just like, finally I've taken a catch. Lovely to see. It was a good catch. Good on you, young man. You've taken a wicket for your team. And out to bat comes Daniel Govan. And he'll be having a partnership with Campbell McMillan, and surely these two would want to take their team home without losing any more wickets. 1 ball to come in this over, so Govan will have to deal with 1 ball. And he sends that to the offside for a single. So the wicket of Nicholas Anderson in that over. 6 runs off it after 7 overs, 77 for 3.
Yeah, great little knock there from Nicholas Anderson. Very impressed with the young man. But also the Lomagundi number 10. It's the second catch he's taken today in the deep, and setting a standard of what it takes to take those catches. Once again, reiterating the one thing that I think schools need to work on is the standard of the fielding, the catching. But other than that, there's been some brilliant cricket and really exciting to see cricket alive and well. Now going into the 8th over. Looks like we're going to have a change of bowling. The youngster who took that last catch, waiting to hear his name. Looks like he's a bit of a spin bowler. So it's going to be Shane Mochenji. Throws the ball up, Campbell McMillan. No, that's Daniel Govan, sorry. Pads the ball back to the bowler, comes in ready for the next ball. Just a slight change in the field. Throws it up off the edge of the bat. That's going to run down to deep third man, and that's going to be 4 runs. So that puts the score up to 81. And Daniel Govan up to 5. Shane Machenji coming again, bowls the ball. Pads out by Daniel, no run. Shane Machenji comes in. Bat pad close together. Good defensive shot. Shane Machenji coming in again. Toss the ball up. It's the first real low ball we've seen today. My pitch has stood pretty good standard. Shane Machenji comes in again, throws up the ball and strides forward, fielded. Peterhouse have got no pressure on themselves. They got 12 overs to make 31 runs. 31 runs to win, so no pressure whatsoever. Just enjoy the batting, get some practice, You're under no pressure in terms of run rate. So I'll hand back over for a brief comment with my fellow compatriot.
You've done a long stint today. To see any of the Peterhouse batsmen after number 3 actually end with a bat any time before the 10th over. Attempts to drive and gets that one over the man at point. Coming back for a second are Govan and Macmillan. Both very, very quick between the wickets and very athletic as well. Tafadzo PT for Lomagundi, 1 wicket for his 19 conceded runs after his 2.1 overs. And a beautifully played cut, but finding the man. And then just looking around the park at the moment, around the campus rather, Wiseall taking on CBC. Christian Brothers College scored 124 from 18 overs. They were bowled out, and then now Wiseall are 72 for the loss of 1 wicket after 8. They require just 54 from 72 balls, so really, really doing incredible things are Wiseall at the moment. Macmillan drives just for a single as well. And then you've got Prince Edward, 234 runs out of 20 overs. Yes, you heard me right, 234 runs, and they've currently got the SA Academy side 47 for the loss of 7 after 10. So looking very ominous. One real competitive one this afternoon at St. George's College. That'll be the Wiseall CBC game. So requiring 54 or 72 are CBC. Big partner Wiseall taking on CBC. And then back to our action here. Target of 112-11 set by Lomagundi. Peterhouse making light work of it at the moment. So after at the end of 9 overs, 89 seems to be the score. 81, I beg your pardon. Needing just 25 runs to win it, Peterhouse. Beautifully driven, but finding that man in at the sweep up. And that is Shane Muchenji with the ball now. We'll be happy to see all of these dot balls go by. They won't mind, won't be fussed at all, this Peterhouse side. Cut again. A shot these Peterhouse boys seem to really, really love playing. Govan attempts a drive.
Shane Muchenji, that bit of bat involved there, I think. That's paid in the air, but goes past the bowler, an easy single. Daniel Govan goes on to 11. And looks like he keeps the strike. So at the end of the 10th over, 90 runs for 3 wickets. Shane Muchenji, end of his 3rd over, no wickets for 26 runs. Good time to get some batting practice in preparation for the next game tomorrow. No use doing anything rash. Just take the time to get your eye further in. Play some shots that you you're comfortable with, and just tick that scoreboard along. Are there is there runs per over and net run rate and all that involved? Oh, that's a chance missed by the wicketkeeper. A glance down the offside, it went past the wicketkeeper. Bowler's looking on apprehensively and looking at the wicketkeeper. Tafadzwa PT, 1 for 24 from his 3 overs. Comes into bowl again. Campbell McMillan plays the ball. Picked up by the fielder, just an easy single. Campbell McMillan on 8 runs from 11 balls. So Fadzwa Pidi comes in. Off the back foot, through the covers. Fielders coming in. Easy single. There's no need to put pressure on yourself and go for the second. It's an easy road. Bowler comes in again. Off the back foot. Campbell McMillan on strike on 7. And that's played off, that's pulled across, that's going to be 4 runs. Tossed up, down the leg and pulled away for 4 runs for Campbell McMillan. Takes him on to 11, and the score should go to 97. Should be 15 runs to win. Very comfortable. But heads up to the Lomagundi team. Their fielding was exceptional in the first game I watched, the last game, when they beat St. George's. Some great batting, and that's a cracking shot from Campbell McMillan. Yeah, back-to-back boundaries, so that's Campbell McMillan on to 15. Scored to 101, and it's just a formality now, 11 runs left. And that's the end of the 11th over.
It looks like it is done and dusted for Tafadzwa PT. Who had a pretty decent spell for himself. And he ends his spell 1 for 35 off the ball was at least he got a wicket. And now with 11 runs.
Look at the batsman in the middle of the crease, just middle wicket, just talking. It's easy out there. What does Lomagundi do? 11 runs to defend with still 9 overs to go. It's an impossible task. Just a formality.
Peterhouse will be aiming for their 3rd victory. Yesterday, they're doing a very good job against.
Let's hope if you're watching this live on the YouTube feed, you got no plans tomorrow, come down. It's a beautiful atmosphere, 3 grounds with excellent cricket. Come down and watch, have a family day, and enjoy the cricket. There's going to be Panashi Mazai coming on to bowl. First time we've seen him in this innings. He bowled quite well in the last game, so I'm a bit surprised he hasn't come on yet. Putting his mark down. Daniel Govin facing. He's on 13 from 16 balls. That's pulled away. That's going to be 4 runs. That's played off his legs. Through mid-wicket, and that's 4 runs. So it's 105 now for 3. 7 runs left to win. It takes Daniel Govin on to 17.
And definitely looking to disturb some of the players that are just having a little bit of tea.
Panashi Mazai comes in again, left arm, medium quick. That's well defended off the back foot, plays it back to the bowler.
And on one of the other fields, Prince Edward have also made a
Once again, big thanks to the corporate sponsor Cabs and all the affiliate sponsors around the ground, various flags and gazebos and teardrops. Without their support, this event wouldn't happen. So Panashi Mazai comes into bowl. Left arm over, played To mid-wicket, comes in, fielder comes in and just picks up the ball. Go through for a single. Daniel Govan goes to 18 off 19 and leaves Campbell Macmillan on strike. 6 runs to win it. What are the chances of a almighty 6 to win the game like we experienced with Lomagundi against St. George's? 6 runs to win. Panache coming into bowl. Left arm over the wicket and well defended off the back foot. Plays the ball into the covers. I don't know why Panache didn't bowl earlier. He's got a lovely style. He's medium, a little bit quicker, medium fast for schoolboy standards, and a really good action. Extracting quite a bit of bounce from the wicket. Turns around, not wasting any time. Comes steaming in, gets the wicket. Bowls and played off his back foot. Easy single into the covers. Takes the score to 107. And Campbell Macmillan goes on to 16.
Only 5 runs needed for Peterhouse to wrap up this match. Right, going for the pull shot here, Bowman. Misses out on that one.
Just a quick update. Wiseowl on 111 for 1, needing 15 runs from 48 balls to win that game. That's going to be a great victory for them. Peterhouse won by a huge margin. Prince Edward, sorry, won by a huge margin of 100. I'll give you the score shortly.
When you reactive 10, please come to the announcer's desk. There is a phone that was lost. Might just be Peter. Looks like Peter.
So we got 5 runs to win. We're in the 12th, going to the 13th over. And just waiting for the bowler to come in. Wiseowl, 111 for 1 from 12 overs. 15 runs to win from 48 balls. And just Prince Edward bowled out the South African Academy for 51. Massive win for them by 184 runs. But difficult to defend and try and beat a score of 234 of 20 overs. Bowler comes in and thrashed off the back foot. Out to the fielder, picks up the ball, just a single. Takes the score to 108. 4 runs to win. We're in the 12th over. And comes the bowler, bowls, played off, goes out down to a deep slip. He picks up the ball. Back to Panache Pazai. That's played off in the front foot, deep drive into the deep mid-wicket and just a single. Need 3 runs to win now. Correction, Shane Matenji is the bowler. Comes into bowl short and pulled away, but straight back to the bowler. Didn't quite go the way of Daniel Govan's thinking. 18 off 21 balls, and Campbell Macmillan 17 off 17. Shane Matenji flights it up, it's whacked away, straight over the bowler's head. Fielder picks it up, but just another single.
So another single there.
109 for 3.
And it leaves with that overdone and dusted. It is relatively just 1 run left.
It's 110 for 3, correction. That's end of the 13th over. So literally 2 runs to win. It's going to be a great victory for Peterhouse. It's just a pity that Lomagundi had to play 2 games on the trot. I think every team here has to face that, so that these youngsters are nice to fit and prepared for 2 games on the trot. But it's once again just a tribute to the stand of the cricket. Some great batting, some talent out there, which can only further the game in Zimbabwe. And having watched Zimbabwe play at international level, it's nice to see the future's in good hands with some great talent. Bowler coming is going to be Panashi Mazai again, left arm, medium quick. And that's thrashed away, and that's going to be 4 runs, and there's a victory. Fantastic drive, cover drive by Cam Macmillan. Takes the score to 114, and that's victory for Peterhouse by 7 wickets. Campbell Macmillan not out 22 from 20 balls, and Daniel Govan not out on 19. So fantastic win, and it puts Peterhouse in prime position in this tournament. We'll be back tomorrow at 7:45 for the first game on Saturday. But thanks for tuning in. It's been a great environment here, great excitement. Let's hope there's more spectators tomorrow to enjoy this fabulous cricket. And it's nice to see the youngsters going out to greet each other and congratulate after the game. And it's lovely to see the cricketers alive. Tune in to Sandsport live to watch the games tomorrow. Bring your family down and watch. And be sure that the quality of cricket is going to be exceptional. Thanks for watching, and tune in tomorrow.